1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today I'm going to be talking about life skills in schools. I'm going to be explaining why more life skills should be taught in school. According to Dr. Kenneth R. Ginsburg, he said, "What are we really trying to do when we think about raising children?" He also notated that we're trying to put in place the ingredients so a child is going to be a successful 35-year-old. It's not really about getting an A in algebra. The first point I think that schools should teach are about credit cards and debt. According to a new study at OSU, they found that young adults are most likely going to be racking up at credit cards at a more rapid speed. I know personally debt is easy to get into and it is hard to pay off. I was not taught that in school, and it is something that's going to affect you in the long run. He also said if we found what continues to hold true, we may have more elderly people with substantial financial problems in the future. That is what co-author and professor of economics at OSU University said. If our findings persist, we may be faced with a financial crisis among elderly people who can't pay off their credit card debt. This is a problem that's not only affecting young people, but it's also going to affect them as they get older. Finances, debt, that's not taught in school, but it is something that as soon as you hit 18, you are able to get in trouble with. Another thing that should be taught in schools is health insurance. According to successfulstudent.org, it states the skills that we are not taught in high school tend to hold the highest stakes. Most students have health problems. They have to go to the hospital. They're not understanding what their deductible does. They're not understanding co-pays. They're not understanding what their health insurance does, if they even have health insurance. This is something that unfortunately not everyone has health insurance, and now they are being fined for it. I think it's really important to understand what you're paying for and how you're using it so that you're not being taken advantage of. My last point is self-defense. 54% of sexually assaulted are in the age range of 18 to 24. Self-defense should be required. It is a skill that is much more important than running laps or climbing ropes. Everybody had to do a PE class where we pretty much goofed around and played volleyball, but we weren't taught skills like self-defense that are actually going to help us. In conclusion, I'm going to go back to the quote that Dr. Kenneth R. Ginsburg stated. What are we really trying to do when we think about raising children? We're trying to put in place the ingredients so the child is going to be a successful 35-year-old. It's not really about getting an A in algebra. These 3 points are very important. In school, we always think about the academics, we think about the mathematics, we think about the science, the biology, but we're not learning things that are actually going to help us grow into an adult. We're not learning about things like credit card debt, finances. We're not learning about things like protecting ourselves, self-defense, and we're not learning about things like health insurance, car insurance. We're not learning about those things that are crucial. People don't wake up in the morning and think about the mitochondria being the powerhouse of the cell. They think about how am I going to get my bills paid? What happens if I'm sick? They're thinking about those things. Those are what's important. The references I used are 5 different websites, 20 life skills not taught in school, the largest anti-sexual violence organization, why don't we teach life skills in our schools, what are you really learning at schools, and today's young adults will never pay off their credit card debt.